the carina. And I think that's on your list, but it's not, I don't think it's labeled in here. So this plate right here where the trachea splits into two primary bronchi, that's called the carina. Okay? This notched out area of each lung where the bronchi enter and the vessels enter and exit, that's called the hilum. H-I-L-U-M. And I'm pretty sure that's on your list.
Yeah.
And I don't think those are labeled for you. And then one other, well, let me go one step further, because this is one of those things that I told you you wouldn't be able to see. This is a primary bronchus, the first split off of the trachea. Then that branches off, so the branch that branches off of the primary is called a secondary. And then a branch that branches off of the secondary is called a tertiary. Okay, and they keep getting smaller and smaller, and the next one would be a quaternary and so forth. I'm not going to fool with that. But notice as they get smaller and smaller, they lose this cartilage and this support. These blue things represent cartilage. So as long as they have that, they're called bronchi. When they get so small that you can no longer see them and they're no longer supported by by cartilage, then they're called bronchioles. Bronchioles, okay. And the smallest bronchiole that you can't see, and it terminates in the sac of alveoli, is called a respiratory bronchiole, and that's on your list. We're at respiratory bronchiole, and that's why I'm telling you. The other is that the membranes that cover the lung directly on it, and then if we had the cavity here, the cavity wall would be covered by another component. Those are called the pleura, and you don't see those identified here either. Also, the functional units that are all throughout this, that are at the end of those respiratory bronchioles, of course, are called alveoli, or an alveolus, and that's on here. And then the last thing was the respiratory membrane, and I can only describe that. And remember, that's the structure formed by the wall of the capillary and the wall of the alveolus. That's where the gases have to pass back and forth. That's called the respiratory membrane. Okay, and those are down here, so I want to make sure that you got those as well. Okay, one other thing, see this notched out area in this left lobe? That's the cardiac notch. If you put the heart in, notice that the apex of the heart fits into that notch. That's why that's called a cardiac notch. Okay. I think the rest of that now that you can probably work that out on your own.